because for anybody who is trying to understand, how does somebody like Jeffrey Epstein get to their position? How does somebody like Ghislaine Maxwell get to their position? There is no question that when it comes to the banking world and how we ultimately got here, it isn't just the Rothschilds. It isn't just the Jewish banking conspiracy. There's something even more sinister than that. How we got here in many ways was the shifting and the creation of the Federal Reserve under Woodrow Wilson in 1913. Here is a brief explanation for a man who I believe is supposed to be J.P. Morgan. I believe that's who he's supposed to be.
Island, November 1910. 7 bankers meeting in secret to create America's central bank. We just can't call it that.
The 1907 panic nearly destroyed us. Banks failed, fortunes vanished.
We want to control America's money supply, create booms, trigger busts, and profit from both. And how will we do that?
We'll create money from nothing, loan it to the government, and charge interest.
That's usury. In addition, this is also the whole concept of boom-bust cycles in our broken capitalist system. The whole idea, much like the crash in 07, 08, is a reflection of the average person getting screwed and the multinational banking corporations, like this man is explaining, are the ones who get to scoop up all of the assets. Hence, we become slaves to the system.
I agree with Beefy. He does look like Colonel Sanders.
He does. But I bet he does not make a mean fried chicken. Remember, you got to have some Cajun spice in it.
Legal counterfeiting, my friends.
But there's a cost. Every dollar we print steals value from existing dollars. It's a hidden tax that flows directly to us.
And it gets worse. If we ever get off the gold standard, governments can print money for wars. Endless wars become possible and profitable.
Since Americans hate central banks, we'll call it the Federal Reserve. Sounds governmental, doesn't it? It's not.
The president will appoint board members, but we'll pick who he appoints. We'll have 12 regional banks. Looks decentralized, democratic even. But New York banks control them all. That's us.
You're probably wondering how we're going to get this through Congress.
Are we really wondering how they're going to get this through Congress?
Where is this from? This is good. Like, I wish I had been shown this like in school instead of the textbook I was given. I would have rather had this little. It's way better than Prager. What is this?
This was dropped on Instagram yesterday.
It's
December 23rd, 1913. Most of Congress home for Christmas. Perfect timing for passing unpopular legislation. I'll publicly oppose our own bill in Congress. They'll pass it thinking they beat Wall Street. We'll fund university chairs, write the textbooks. They'll teach our system as economic science. Beautiful. Every American born after this will inherit debt on money we created from nothing. Generational servitude. The Federal Reserve. Not federal, no reserves. But everyone will think it's their government protecting them.
Good afternoon.
So when we say we agree with ending the Fed, we mean just that.
And this is a great crossover with us and the libertarians.
Yes, a big one, which is also why begrudgingly we got Clint Russell to agree that if we agreed to help him end the Fed, he would support a single payer healthcare system.
So now we need to get Clint in with to get Randy Fine out.
Yes. And
potentially have a GOP congressperson supporting single payer healthcare.
Yeah. Or somebody Anthony Aguilar would definitely back. Those things are important. Again, everything's changing by the day. But the more
connect Anthony Aguilar with Matt Ho. That would also be a really
that's a dynamic duo.
Also, this is all just amazingly good man candy for me. You do realize that, right?
Oh, I am. Hey, listen, whatever works.
You're away, like, let me tell you something. And then you say Larry Wilkerson, and it's like, be still my heart. You know what I mean?
Well, he is the colonel. Like I
love him.
So I bring this up because when everybody is asking themselves, why is Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell able to get away with this? Why has this sort of unholy alliance with Israel been allowed to exist? It's all about money and power. This isn't about moral clarity of any kind. It's not that's never a question. It doesn't matter the depravity, the lack of humanity. That's all on full display. Everybody knows that that is the case. And so now, because of the fact that the Trump administration doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and we know that
what gave you that idea? They seem so on top of shit.
They really thought that they could actually convince their own people. That would be my guess, that if we just allow Ghislaine Maxwell to say her piece and say that Trump had nothing to do with Epstein's Island, that
right.
and that wasn't enough.
Right.
There's also her saying that Clinton had nothing to do with Epstein's Island. Guys, it is a small club and you're not invited. And the sooner we realize how this is all played and constructed, we will realize that we must sever this relationship. But we are going to play you
well, you've got to stop saying that. There is no severing the relationship. They are us. Okay,
well, I know you say that, but I'm still going to convince myself that we can get away.
But what I'm telling you is what we need to do is end the Zionist project. That's our project. But stop saying there is no ending the relationship with them. That just ends them. So then that's the point. We need to end them. But there is no ending that relation. It's not like Israel will continue to exist as its own little state if we're not affiliated with them.
Just remember, excuse me, just remember, I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong. And we are making America great again.
Again.
Thank you.
You know,
and my husband is not in the room right now.
Do you have a list of names in your head or names that come to mind of people that you know did get massages when they were with Mr. Epstein?
No, there's no list. There's no list of people getting massages. I don't have, I can barely recall all the people. I can barely recall.
This is coming from somebody who actually was a guest at Bill Clinton's daughter's own wedding.
Well, I do actually believe that there is no physical list. I would believe that. You don't need one. You don't need a physical list. In fact, it would be stupid to literally have a list because then that would be something that could be exposed. But they're saying it as if there's not like a list name of people that exists out there in the world in terms of who participated. Of course, there's people that participated. They just don't have a physical list. That doesn't they're making that like a distinct.
You really don't think that there's like a little black book in somebody's private?
I think that they have whoever their contacts are, but do I think that they spell out in writing which of those contacts are pederasses? No, probably not. You wouldn't necessarily put that in writing, but they know who each other are. You don't need to put it in writing.
I struggle to recall actual people that I met, and I may have met a long time, but I had even forgotten that about Mr. Kennedy, or I probably brought it up yesterday. It just came to my mind now. So I don't have, and there's no list. There was never a list. There was no, or certainly none that I ever saw, none I ever heard of, none that I ever witnessed, there's no list.
Exactly. This is right here. This is what I think it is. It's footage, it's tapes, it's evidence of the people that were there and have been there. But that's the thing. That is the evidence of the people. The list is comprised of all of the evidence of the people that participated. They don't need a list. That's what's so stupid. They're talking about a list like the actual writing down of the names makes it so, as opposed to a video of said person having sex with a minor. No, see, that makes it so. Anybody can write anything down on a list.
I don't remember who it was that said it, Moed, but what you have to remember is this. No, with rare exception, nobody buys this. The reason that they're doing this is because they are showing their undying loyalty to the state of Israel. That's why they're doing this.
Yes.
No matter how much of a public humiliation this may be, that is why they're doing it. No one's buying this. And if they are, then you could say that they're in a cult. But if you look at the overwhelming majority of America First MAGA supporters, they're not on board with this, not even a little bit. In fact, it is turning people directly away from Trump altogether.
Okay, so JG19, yes. Chomo is much more of a term that's a justice system type word that you will find people in jail and other people that have sort of honor amongst thieves, how they refer to the lowest life individuals amongst them. So that's their sort of phrase. Pederast is more just sort of like something that I learned in law school is more like law students speak and legal speak. So it's both are accurate, but yes.
Never heard Mr. Epstein talk about such a list.
Never.
And you never heard Mr. Epstein suggest that he had some sort of control over somebody because of what he knew about what they had done or had photos of him.
I never heard him. No, I never heard him ask questions about that. I never heard him. So I've been present many times with masseuses. I never, who presumably could or maybe did massage somebody. I'm not saying whether they did. I'm not just in the context. I never heard him ask any question of any masseuse who may have given a massage to a friend that was on the island or in Palm Beach or anywhere else for that, any details about that massage.
Why was she watching other people get massaged?
Why is she in federal prison for 20 years?
Well, because they were trafficking children to nobody, to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The entire trafficking ring was just to please Epstein and Maxwell. That was the whole point of it, all of it, just for the two of them, and that island, all just for the two of them. All I think of is like Dershowitz getting a massage at Mar-a-Lago, and I just want to fucking retch that piece of shit. Ugh.
Well, I think how Dershowitz now can't show his face in public anymore.
Nor should he. Nor should he. He should have never been able to show his face.
Listen, you can't just judge a person by their looks, but I will judge him by his looks.
I'm not judging him by his looks. I'm judging him by his actions.
No. What I'm saying is that Dershowitz looks like a pederast. Like he gives off that Woody Allen creepy vibe, like he would touch children.
I don't know why. Okay. I mean, now I do believe that he was getting massages by underage girls. But again, we've also made the distinction between that and necessarily pederasts. But you can't say that based on how someone looks. You say that based on the fact that he was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer and has the perfect excuse for, complete, privacy and complete confidentiality.
Speaking of pedos, and remember, Ghislaine's own father, Robert Maxwell, has a statue of him in Israel.
That to me is so off the wall. So gross.
Leave it to the Simpsons to have the best meme. And when we talk about pederasts, and again, for those of you who don't know,
is that what you think about?
That's Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager actually said this, and this is coming from the Intellectualist. This is actually coming from, I believe, a conservative publication. Prager, there's no secular argument against adult incest. Brother and sister want to make love. What's your argument? That they're going to produce mentally retarded offspring? That's nonsense. It takes many generations of inbreeding to do that. Yet this is the type of stuff that people like Dennis Prager say.
This is what's going to be replacing PBS. This is now what's in control of the curriculum in like 30-something states in public schools. The Prager Institute is now what's being taught in Florida public schools.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what could go wrong? Let's make our people even dumber than we actually are. Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but there's also footage of Prager being asked about whether or not sleeping with children or having sex with children is a bad thing. And he kind of like quotes the Bible saying that, well, technically it's not that bad.
Right.
He's a sick fuck. He is also 1000% Mossad as far as I'm concerned. The idea that he could have this fake university, and don't get me wrong, I have seen a handful of PragerU videos, but we're talking like a decade ago. What this guy has evolved into is what he's always been, which is a Zion Nazi of the highest order. And the way he talks about Israel, the way he talks about Judaism, is the conflation of the two in the worst way possible. And that's what he does. I'm only using Prager as an example here because it's all interconnected, all of it. The only reason we sit where we sit today is because of this unholy alliance that we must lance off like a boil, as Jen says.